Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Tea and Chat. I'm Sharis Alldredge and this is my sister wife Vanessa.
Hi everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Okay, so the tea we have today is, I think, a nice tea. Honestly, I haven't tried it yet, but we also got a nice little criticism from Sharis's sister, who we love, and she commented on, it's so nice that you have tea, but every single tea you say is lovely.
Yeah.
So she advised us to pick up a thesaurus, I think, and
yeah, use some different words. Lovely is a good word, but you're overusing it. So find different words to describe your teas. So
today we're going to make an effort.
Yes, we are avoiding the word lovely.
This is not a lovely tea. It's
not lovely.
Actually, I haven't tasted it yet because I want it to be genuine. So this tea that we have today is a decaf chai spice from Stash. I like chais in general.
I love chais.
So I'm going to taste it and tell you what I really think. And it's not going to be lovely. It's mild. Has some lovely warming spices. The spices are lovely. The tea, however...
Yeah, it's comforting.
Yes.
It's very pleasant. Trying not to say lovely.
Yes. But this one is definitely light on the spices. It's a good combination. Not too cinnamon heavy, which is good because too much cinnamon can get a little bit overpowering.
Yeah, I don't really like a lot of cinnamon in my chai. Well, today I thought it would be fun to go over this one comment in detail. So a while back, we had the opportunity to film with a production company out of Europe, and they did a show called Stacey Dooley Sleeps Over. It's a wonderful experience. We really enjoyed ourselves, and we're really pleased with the finished product.
And we do have a reaction video to it. It's one of our first videos that we put out. So
yes, you can find that on our channel.
You can watch the same thing if you haven't seen it yet.
Somebody commented on the video, like as they were watching it, they just kind of went through and added to their comment.
So it was a commentary on our commentary on Stacey's commentary.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
Yes. And I absolutely love a lot of her thoughts and a lot of the points she made, some of her questions. And I thought it would be really fun to go through this and just kind of break it down. Mm-hmm. So this comment is from ChiGirl318, and thank you so much. All right, so the first part. Rambling comments from a monogamous viewer. I'd imagine there are seasons of marriage in your lives, just as there are in all marriages. You have days or even weeks or perhaps months where things are difficult, and you might have a better marriage with one wife versus the other during those times. This concept isn't unique to poly relationships, and I think it's entirely fair and honest to admit it, as you all did. So I think at this point in the Stacey Dooley Sleeps Over, Stacey was asking Jeff if he had kind of a preference, a favorite wife or a favorite marriage, and how he navigated that.
Polygamous marriages are just like any other marriage in that it's one man and one woman that have that kind of foundational bond. Mm-hmm. I suppose there might be somebody different out there, but the ones that I'm familiar with, it is a man and a woman unit. So with it, there's several different marriages linked together, but they're still made up of that husband-wife bond. And so you're going to see in those the same thing you see in any husband and wife bond. Mm-hmm. You get the relationship issues, you get the personal issues that come up, and where one of you will be struggling with something in your life or with something with each other. And sometimes you're really strong and you have very positive moments, and then other times you have lower moments where you're trying to figure out problems or you're trying to face the negative aspects of yourself or your spouse or the relationship that you have between each other.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And where I'm at in my marriage is not always going to line up where Sharis is at in her marriage. So if mine is going like this, Sharis's might also be going like this, but at different times. Mm-hmm. And so if you contrast them with each other, it might feel really stark.
Yeah.
But it's just natural. So each of our relationships is going to look different from each other usually at almost any given season, but it doesn't mean that one is better than the other or one is more successful than the other. If you're still married, you're still married. And a struggle doesn't mean that something's wrong. It means that you are figuring something out. And that's normal.
All right, so next part of this comment, addressing the idea that Jeff is the one that benefits. I'm not sold on that. If your only point of view is from a physical one, Maybe. But marriage is work. I doubt most husbands can keep one woman happy. Look at our divorce rates. Jeff has to keep 2 happy. That's a ton of work. So if you've seen the documentary, you'll know that at this point, Stacy was asking Jeff, was it really fair? Is it really fair? You have 2 partners, your women only have 1, and it seems to me that you're the one who benefits here. A very common misconception is that polygamy is for men. Our argument is that no, polygamy is for women. Mm-hmm. This benefits women.
Now, I know that this is a point that Sharis and I have talked on kind of a lot. We are trying to show that throughout our entire channel why women choose this. Why it's the women who benefit as well as the men. And it's not very man-centric. It's not a lifestyle that's built just to gratify the lusts of men. It is not. Many of the videos that we have made are trying to respond to this kind of thinking, this line of thinking. It's not accurate. And I know that Stacy kind of represented that in her commentary and in what she was representing, but it's really not the case. And I hope that we kind of made those points. There's so much about the stabilization of the family. There's so much companionship and assistance that you get from having other women.
So great comment there. Thank you. Okay, the support network. This is one of the fantastic positives of this lifestyle. I feel like for so many reasons, living around or with extended family is becoming more and more of a necessity. Will this increase plural marriage relationships? No idea. I think that's a good point.
It is, and I do wonder, especially as we are in these strange economic times, as just trying to get by and make a living and raise your families seeming to get harder and harder and harder. So many families are finding that extended families are staying together. Grandparents and with their children and their grandchildren are finding themselves maybe sharing a home again because the cost of living is so much higher.
It's true.
The cost of getting a home. And so with those dynamics in mind, having sister wives, having a larger family and that support network can be very beneficial as well. I have a part-time job outside the home, and it does not disrupt the family dynamic as far as my children are still at home all the time with their family, with Sharis when I'm not there. And we have the ability to bring in additional incomes and other things. And so it is a support thing. It is that. What am I going for here?
Well, I think that, to summarize, the support network is what makes this lifestyle so appealing to so many women.
It's really hard to be a responsible mother and woman. And when you're trying to raise your family, it's very difficult. So every bit of help is wonderful. And when you have that within your own home with your own sister wife, it's an amazing built-in feature. And I think that's what she's touching on in that comment.
Yeah, and I've seen so many comments through the years, women who say that I could totally get on board with this for someone who lives in my house with me, have a companion, someone to help me with my children in the home. Just, I don't want to live polygamy. It's like, okay, well, this support network is very appealing to a lot of people. All right, moving on. Homeschooling. Do you still homeschool all of them, even the ones at a high school level?
Short answer, yes. Sharis and I just put out our last video. It was talking all about homeschool, our philosophy, and our approach to it.
Yeah, the reasons why we do it.
Yeah. And it is definitely something we do, and we love it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hard work, and it is also worth every bit of it.
That's true.
It has given us the chance to help our children gain the education that we want them to have. Scholastic studies like math, reading, and writing, etc. Within those lessons, we can also teach our core values and the things that we hold very important. Not just our religious perspectives, but our morality and so many life skills that maybe get missed in a conventional classroom. And we also get to avoid a lot of the negativity that comes from having an education that is given by the government. I do not think that the government has the best interest of my children at heart in the end.
Yeah.
Not like a mother, and quite frankly, I don't always trust them. And so to hand that over to bureaucracy to decide what my children need to learn is not something I want to do.
No.
So that's why we've taken on this responsibility of educating our children in our home. I came across a quote that I would love to share now. It was by John Holt, who was a teacher, and he was a big critic of the public school system. And it goes as this: no matter what tests show, very little of what is taught in school is learned, very little of what is learned is remembered, and very little of what is remembered is used. The things we learn, remember, and use are the things we seek out or meet in the daily, serious, non-school part of our lives.
That's true.
So in this, when we have school in our home, it creates a more integrated experience. School isn't just school, which is separate from home. It's like two different lives. It's one life.
Mm-hmm.
They have their life. They have their education that is tied into the daily workings of their life. And there is so much value to that. And those kind of things get retained a lot better. I know from experience, even as an adult, when I learn it in context, it stays with me.
So true.
But how many of the facts from my childhood can I recall learning in a second grade classroom, staring at the whiteboard? Very little.
Yeah. So if you want to hear more of our thoughts on homeschooling, you can check out our last video.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, moving on. Do your kids want to live your lifestyle? Polygamist, on the farm, etc. We did touch on this a few videos back, but it's been a while. When it comes to our children's future, that's going to be in their hands. That's up to them.
That is not to say that we don't have hopes and support for them,
That's
but our expectations are not imposed upon them.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I do not think that they have to follow in my footsteps in the way I do things or in the way that I chose to marry. Now, if I set a good enough example and my teachings throughout their childhood have been strong enough that they have adopted them themselves, great. I would love for them to choose it, but only if it's their choice.
Yeah.
But not because I've pressured them or have my own personal expectations that I put onto them.
Yeah. Whatever lifestyle they choose to live, it needs to be from a place of personal conviction,
Mm-hmm.
and not because of their parents' expectations. So at this point in the documentary, Stacey Dooley asked Vanessa and I, what would happen if Jeff ever met somebody and fell in love and we didn't like her? What would happen? And so what Chi Girl 318 said is, I find it very hard to believe that Jeff would marry someone you both didn't at least tolerate, if not actually like. He knows that the household must run well, and you couldn't do that with someone you didn't get along with. She should find it very hard to believe, because most likely it wouldn't happen.
Right. But the thing about relationships is they're not chance.
Mm-hmm.
So much of our relationships are what we make of them. And if Jeff found another woman who he felt compatible with and had a love for one, that's likely to have an element of compatibility with Sharis and myself.
Yeah.
And for two, I would make a point to build a relationship with her, no matter how it started or no matter what her personality was in the beginning.
Yeah.
I have the power really to develop something,
Yeah.
to build a bond, to open the roads of communication, to build a friendship with her. There's a lot of it that we do have influence over, a lot of it that we do
Mm-hmm.
have the ability to create into something positive. And not just a roll of the dice and hope that it's perfect. It's like, no, that's not it. It takes work, it takes cultivation, and it takes a love for that other person. And so as I think about any future relationships, I am really not scared because
Mm-mm.
I trust that I have the skills to develop that. I already know I do. And, some people might be more difficult than others. That means it's an extra challenge. I don't know what all the particulars will be, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
We do what we can. We make our family into what we want it to be, and we put in the work of building each other up and creating the bonds.
Yeah.
And then let the chips fall.
Yeah.
Well, and also there's this. I can't think of any relationship that I've had in my life that has zero compatibility.
Mm-hmm.
Some have more than others, but if there is some, then they can be worked on and
Mm-hmm.
expanded and cultivated. So I feel like there's so much potential for creating harmony, no matter where it starts from.
So at the end of the documentary, Stacey Dooley is talking, and she kind of goes back over this idea that polygamy is for men, that men just want women. And so Chi Girl says, at the end, she, Stacey Dooley, implies that it could be about women. I'm not buying this at all. If a man wants women, that's super easy. You marry one and cheat on her with countless other women. Jeff chooses to live an incredibly honorable and often hard lifestyle. He's not in it for the women.
So, is Jeff in this just for the women? Well, I mean, I hope so.
He kind of likes women.
No, what I mean by that is that he is in it for me. Not because I am a woman who gratifies his every whim, but because I have value to him. Mm-hmm. He appreciates who I am as a wife, and I know he appreciates who Sharis is as a wife.
Yeah.
And it is not without hard work on his part. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He puts in a lot of hard work.
He does.
Think of every difficult conversation you've ever had with your husband or wife, just one-on-one, and then double that.
Yeah, then multiply.
Yeah, like he's lost many a night of sleep trying to figure out things that need to be figured out, trying to face the criticisms that he has two wives pointing out.
Yeah.
You know, it's not easy to have your flaws pointed out by somebody you love.
And multiple spotlights.
Yes, he's got multiple spotlights. So it's not a simple thing. But he is in it for us.
Yeah.
He's not in it for a cheap thrill. That's certainly not the case.
Yeah. If it was just about multiple partners, there's lots of much easier ways to go about achieving that.
Well, and when I joked earlier about I hope he's in it for the women, but the reality is he sacrifices a lot to be a good husband to me and to Sharis. He puts in so much work, and he shares of himself and the good values that he's been able to create in his life with each of us. So now we assuredly both have a good husband, and it's not just crossing your fingers and hope that the numbers play out right, that you can find a single husband or a single man who's available and also desirable. And I'm really grateful for that. And I'm grateful for that for all the other women who have found a wonderful husband, even if they share him. Because for him and other good, God-fearing, responsible men to rise up, make themselves worthy of a choice for a woman, but then open that up to other women who also want the same thing, I think that's very admirable. And I appreciate that in my husband and other men who do the same. I know that it's not the conventional Western view, but it is valuable.
Yeah. Well, that's all we have. Thank you so much, Chi Girl. I loved all of your thoughts and just so many really, really good points. So I appreciate you taking the time to put all that down for us.
I appreciate too that, she's a monogamous woman. This isn't her life, but she's looking at what we've put out and giving her an honest commentary. She's giving us her attention, and she's thinking about these things. We're not trying to convert everybody, but we are trying to help people see what we see.
Yeah.
And so if Chi Girl can see these points, she's hopefully one among many, many others. And we get the chance to share the perspectives that we have and shine light on the values that we have and the blessings.
Yeah.
So it's why we do what we do, and I appreciate Chi Girl's willingness to share her thoughts with us. And
let us see through her lens what she's seeing. So.
Yeah, and the appreciation that she has for our message. And it goes a long way.
It does. So thank you again. Well, that's all we've got for today. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and feel free to leave any questions or comments that you have, and we'll address them as we can. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.